Alright, here we are. Playing around. So, anybody watching this later, it's going to be a little boring, but a whole lot more fun to, do this stuff live, I think. So if anybody has any questions or whatever, they can just chime on in. Just placed an order from HL Supply for a new head for this. What else? I got a piece of, is this marble or granite? Sometimes I can't tell. Looks like I think it's granite tile. So that'll act as a good straight edge here. We're going to work with that. But I think that the 350 failure here was not the fault of this, but, well, we'll show you in a minute. Let me bring you up here. And let's see who's here. James is here. Good. This is 4 people. Who else is here? If anybody's here and I don't give a shout out, please let me know. Yeah, so what I wanted, I gotta clean this up, obviously. Where's my Scotch Brite? Hey, Ken. Where's my drill? Where's my right angle drill? Hang on, guys, while we're waiting for people to show up, let me find... I don't know. Where would I have put it? Oh, here. Right now. Of course. So I just want to get the bulk of the junk off here. Now, if you'll notice, I used 1184 on here and the base gasket, and by and large, half the gasket's here and half the gasket was on the cylinder head. So the 1184 is sticking really, really well to between the aluminum and the gasket, and it literally divides the gasket into 2 pieces. So not sure how you could ask for a lot better than that. Could be terrazzo, yeah. No, I think this is natural stone. I don't think this is poured. Terrazzo's poured, right? Time for a new tip. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yeah. Cool. You know, Ken, I had heard about it, and then I forgot about it somehow. And right now my wife is not feeling good. She got the thing my son had the other day. Which then just means it's just a matter of time before Megan and I get it. Take a reseller. Yeah. Whatever. No, I don't think the 1184 is at fault. I'll show you why in a minute. I do think before I was using the Loctite 518. I do think that stuff is actually no good for this application. But that's not the issue here. What I'm doing is I'm just getting this cleaned up best I can. Yeah, I really don't think the 1184 is the issue. It's the flatness of the chassis that's at fault, and not even that, but it's the inserts that I think are sticking up a little bit too much. Do I have the a tank lying around? No. Sorry. I'd like to have one laying around. Definitely takes time to clean this stuff up. Hey, Nikki. Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up. Last year we were making apple pie. Maybe we'll do it again. Probably should be doing it today, but my wife is not feeling good. I will definitely demonstrate the funky apple peeler. Hey, Tom made it. Hey, great. We're a whole lot closer now. Just want to get this a little bit better cleaned off here. Was just on the phone last night with Joe Piper. I don't know if he's listening in, he might be. But we were talking about, you know, even if you do everything right, things still have a propensity to go wrong. And that was this build for sure. Because everything else on this saw was completely fine. Completely fine. The issue was that the base did not stick properly to the case. Harry, I'll show you. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I'll show you exactly what we got here. So, with the Dremel there, you can buy assortments of steel, like wire wheels, on eBay. And they come like this. In a pile. And they're very inexpensive, and they work pretty good for doing this sort of thing. Don't worry, Megan, we're going to pick on somebody else today. I use the word we lightly. You know, it really is James and Ken. So yeah, we're gonna do first thing. You want to double check and just make sure that that the riser block is good. You know, that the bearing block is good. Yeah, probably steel wire. It's soft enough that it doesn't really gouge too much, and it's aggressive enough that it pulls the soft stuff off. It's definitely not brass. It's either steel or stainless steel. So now, since the bottom's pretty clean here, I want to take this and make sure that it's flat. This is 220. Let's see. I really don't think this is that far off of flat. It's pretty flat. Well, this isn't the problem, Nikki. That's the thing. I'm going to show you guys. Just a minute. I don't think this is the problem. I don't think it was a problem before, and I don't think it's a problem now. I have a little bit more cleanup on here to do, but it's pretty good at this point. So we can put this aside. Now, Joe did suggest hitting this with 50 grit just to rough it up and make sure it's shiny and rough. So I may do that. Let me go get the case. Be right back. Did you hit Mega again? That's not right. Alright, so you guys may or may not believe this, but this is the chassis from last night. So, just a few minutes in purple degreaser in the ultrasonic, and away we go. And this is like a whole lot better. Now, what I think is going on is these metal standoffs, whatever you want to call them, the inserts, are slightly higher than the plastic. So what I may need to do is Dremel them down. Hey, Roadrunner. So if you look, the 1184 sticks darn good, even to plastic. Look at that. So if it's sticking to both sides, the aluminum and the plastic, then the problem is not with the 1184 itself. I think the problem is that there's too big of a gap between the plastic and the metal that the 1184 cannot, you know. Yeah, ultrasonic. This was ultrasonic in purple degreaser, which really is no good for aluminum, but it works wonders on plastic. The brake cleaner just softens it up a little bit. The opinion is changing of the local dental school. What do you mean, Mega? What do you want to change? Hang in there, Nikki. You can do it. Oh, it changed a lot? So now what I'm going to take a straight edge on this. I'm going to look. Because I think I can see light under there. So what I really need to do is I need to actually knock down those standoffs just slightly. Yeah, I think there's light. I could find my flashlight. Usually use my phone these days, but let's see if I find the flashlight. Good idea, Matt. Yeah, it sticks up. For sure. I don't know how many thousands that is, but it's up. Hang on. The inserts are not pressed in. They are molded in somehow. They might be actually molded in with when it's actually injection molded. It's possible. So the simplest thing to do is just knock them down. If they're a little bit on the low side, that's not going to be a problem, I don't think. Get a ball and carbide and hit them. Right, I can put the block on it too. Um, hear the clink? Yeah, maybe it fills a bigger gap, but I'm just not interested in having the gap, you know? Why would you have the gap? For sure. I mean, like, if you just put this on there, you can see it. So it's got nothing to do... Got nothing to do with 1184 or the riser block. It has everything to do with those damn things. So let's hit it with, you know what we're doing here? We're just fiddling because I don't think, I've been doing this 350 stuff for a while, and this is at least kind of new. But then again, my 350s don't get used day in and day out. I'm going to take a guess and say this was like 15, 20 tanks into its use, and it finally went kablooey. And as of right now, I'm not putting the nice OEM heads on these until until you know that it's good for a bit, type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I believe the plastic probably shrunk. That's probably what happened. You may be right, Nikki. They creep up or creep down or whatever, you know. better. Let's listen. Sometimes sound gives it away. Still goes clink clink. Yeah, Matthew, I would look hard at not just making sure this is flat, but also making sure that if you had a case that got kind of hot, which they do, I mean, it does happen, but if you get a case that's kind of hot, you might want to check the tolerances. Dan, another good point. You warm things up and you kind of let things equalize before you grip and rip, right? So to bring up Ken's point, unfortunately, I don't have blue Dicam, but I do have this permanent marker. You can kind of see. I'm going to permanent marker the whole darn thing here, and then rub it on a little bit and see what happens. So it shows pretty darn well, in fact, exactly where it's hitting too much. So over here, right at the edge here. I wonder if the super scraper will help. I think that's going to be much better. Still over here in the corner. Right here a bit. Right in the back corner. It's getting a little more even on this side. Still need to reduce more in that corner and right towards that edge. Still hitting in that silly corner. this corner that's high. I've never done this to a 350 before, by the way. And now I'm kind of thinking you probably got to do it to all of them. Or at least check. Because if this isn't sitting flush, if there's too much of a gap, see, I can feel the rock here. And this is the outside of the plat. It's outside here, not here. Yeah, it'd be nice to have an edge scraper that goes done. You're right. Well, the other way to do it, of course, is stick this on the Bridgeport and hit it, you know. But anyway, I don't think we're going to get that carried away. Yeah, this is definitely interesting because I've never done this to a 350, and I never anticipated this to be that much of a problem. The marks moved. Still not there. I happy? Well, I'm happy. Well, I think I found the issue. I don't know about happy with progress, but I think I've found the reason why this whole thing went kablooey. You know, I think I'm getting somewhere. But this is the old, is it light at the end of the tunnel, but it could be a train type of thing. Yeah, I know, Nikki. It pulls it tight, but that worries me. I should be able to just sit it right on there and have it be good. And then that's going to be. Then the sealant can take over from there. See? No rock there. You guys can hear that. Just giving some spot to get a screwdriver under later, but Mega, by the way, I'm glad you're getting care. That's good. Can I hammer the inserts out? No, I tried. Sure would be easier to throw this thing on the Bridgeport. Done. It's a whole lot closer than it was. See, now I'm starting to touch front and back on center here. Of course, this might be like a 4-year-old with a haircut. Yeah, there's a bump. Actually, I can feel it. Jeez. Bump here. That is much more stable feeling. I'll tell you what. We are most definitely honing in on it. That's pretty darn good, fellas. For sure ain't perfect, but that's like far better. just taking off tiny, tiny bits. Well, that's like a zillion times better than it was. Alright. I'd say we leave that. What do you think? Back to 1184. Yeah, for sure. Nikki, I already did. Well, turn the lights out. Okay, I'll do that. Hang on. Let me just clean off the base here. Yeah, I really don't think the 1184 was at fault. I don't think so. I mean, this clearly didn't fit. You know? That's pretty good. It ain't perfect, but that's before there was a lot of light, you know? There you go. That's good. That's good. Yeah. No light. Okay. Nice. Did Leonard make it? Wait a minute. Leonard made it? Fantastic. Sorry, guys. Matt Sullivan, Yamabond, Honda Bond, and 1184 are essentially all the same thing. They're, for all intents and purposes, I believe they're the same thing. Same stuff. You could use Durko here too, but you know, whatever. Yeah, 518 is no good. You don't want to be using that here because the 518 does not stick to the plastic. I'd say here I'd say this is proof positive that this does indeed stick to plastic, but It just is not. It does not seal a large gap. No Twilight Zone here. Although this is definitely out of the realm of what you normally do on a 350. Imagine if you wielded a chainsaw. A dimension not of sight and sound, but of mind. That one, Ken? Craig Stark. Um, you do have to do that with 518, but I don't think you need to do that for 1184. But I don't think there's any harm in that, Craig. The 1184 set's pretty darn quick. Durko, you can just get at your steel dealer, Ken. Yeah, Craig, they do. I don't think. Oh, we. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that, Craig. So far, this 1184. I think it sets quite fast, so I'm just not that worried about it. But if you've got Loctite 518 and anaerobic sealer, then you really do need to let it sit, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think this is a bad application for Durko. I've never used Durko personally, but these aren't super clean, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna really degrease the crank. I tend to think that these seals are really a pressure fit up against the riser block and the case, so you don't need as much sealer around them. You need to worry as much. Lots of brake cleaner on here. That's about as clean as that's going to get. Well, I ordered another head from HL Supply, so hopefully that'll be in end of the week. I don't know what shipping schedules are like for Thanksgiving weekend, but I placed the order, so I got to assume that'll get out in the mail tomorrow. So probably sometime Thanksgiving weekend, we will get this going, you know? 2 millimeters is huge, yeah. I want basically zero gap here, you know? Just going to cross hatch this a little bit with 50 grit. No, 2 millimeters is 2 millimeters, I would assume. I can't imagine anything rubbery could withstand crankcase pressures, gas and oil at 2 millimeters of a gap. I have a hard time believing that, you know. But whatever. Okay, now I need my 350 stuff, which was over here. Of course, I don't even know if I have Loctite, so I want to make sure I have that first before I go put these in. Whee! Let's put some of this stuff away too. Yeah, I've got Loctite. Okay. red Loctite on the bolts. Okay, those are there sitting. All right, 1184. Here we go. I hope not, Nikki. These are the stock screws, and we didn't change anything. It's not. I mean, a few thousands not going to be a big deal. Change it by 20 thousandths, yeah, you're going to have a problem maybe. What I didn't do before is I don't think I let it tack up for very long. So that might be a better idea on this, you know. Tap it. Get a nice tacky surface. Pretty evenly coated, I would say. I'm hearing my wife and kids upstairs. It's about time for ice skating. Gotta take the kids to There you go there. Hey, Craig made it. We were just talking about you, Craig. Well, we were a little bit ago. So, yeah, the Craig, I found that the case here was significantly off. The riser block was actually quite flat, but the case was definitely not flat. And the 1184 had failed. Oh yeah, sticky fingers. Let's do this too. I can't imagine that that'll have a problem. Craig, if this comes back again, I'll try the ultimately black stuff. I mean, I just can't imagine that the 1184 here is actually at fault because it was actually sticking quite well to both the plastic and to the riser. It was sticking quite well. So, okay, here we go. What I always get a little bit worried about is the corners. I think I'm going to tighten this up and then I'm going to have to go because I got to get the kids over to ice skating. Yeah, on this one. See, my concern now is that the riser block isn't sitting all the way down, because maybe there's been too much milled off of it. Because it doesn't want to go right down. Now I'm kind of hoping that the rubber part will squeeze a bit, you know. Let's hope. I'm working. As long as I have good squeeze out all around, we'll be fine. Yeah, there's squeeze out. One, two, three, four. Just getting rid of some of the excess 1184 in here. Get some of that off later. Don't affect anything. Yeah, so I've got squeeze out here. It should be fine. One, two, three, four. Now, luckily, I didn't put the crank in the wrong direction. All right, I'm gonna let that set. I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta go take the kids to ice skating. I will see you guys later. I don't know how much more on this we can actually do, but probably nothing for now. But if I can come on later, I will. If not, everybody be safe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Do appreciate it. And we will catch you guys some other day, okay? Take care, guys. Be safe.